Welcome to K-pop Scape, our escape into the world of K-pop. Uh, Hello, I am your host, one of your hostesses with the most assists. My name is
Not the
India,
most assistants.
and I am joined with two of our other hostesses. Introduce yourselves from oldest to youngest.
Oh, why'd you do
I'm
that?
youngest, so good luck.
Only did it to make it so
Okay.
y'all don't talk over each other.
Hello, I'm Devin. Um, I am the third oldest of our little group.
Shut up. I'm Layla. I'm just a baby.
As you can
Chelsea's
tell.
not here because she has a job, and Jameer's not here because he has a job. They all have jobs but me. Don't judge. All right, this is what it is.
We gotta have some sort of money for this lifestyle we have decided to go into. So please don't
They're
judge.
spending
Well, I'm about to start school.
thousands of dollars on
Not I.
albums.
Not I. But
I mean, let me see. Looking at my albums, I might got a cool like
couple
hundred
hundred.
something, couple $100 worth of albums.
I don't know how many albums I can count. Probably more than 100. Let's say that.
Yeah, it's got a couple of hundred because I went on freaking there's a K-pop album, like a K-pop website. I forgot what it's called.
K-pop shop.
No, I don't know. I don't do K-pop stuff. I do something else. I forgot what it's called.
K-pop
But
town
yeah,
for you?
huh?
K-pop
K-pop
town for
town.
you? There's Sub Cape Shop.
K-pop Town, I
There's
think, is
Ooh,
K-pop
sub
Town.
K shop.
I
I
love
do.
Sub Cape Shop. They got the best photos.
I have I think that's where Jules be going sub K shop to get the magazines because she be getting magazines.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I,
it's on Sub
I
Cape
need
Shop.
That's where
I
I
need to
got
go there.
the Death albums.
Why did you mention him? He's like Voldemort. He's gonna pop up. Don't do that.
I gotta
That's where
Next thing you
mention
know,
him
we go.
because
Next thing
that's
you
where
know,
we
we go
got the
see you.
albums.
That's where you
Next
get
thing you know, we
Mangos's
go
though.
see him post in the next 5 minutes because of you.
Do you want me to
Anyways,
check?
it's 9 a.m. in Korea, or maybe 10:38, 11 over there. Yeah, I bought some from K-pop Town, and the shipping was like $50 fucking. So yeah, I bought like 5 or 6 albums from that damn thing. So it's about $200-300 I to spend on these goddamn people.
I spent more than that. Sorry, not sorry.
I have me and Dev have the least, like the lightest album collection, and
Like heavy.
you and Mir have the heavies.
Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
still need to re-click BTS, but we're not gonna get into that.
Dude, I
You have
need
to
to do
buy
that.
two more of each. Well, two more of the first three Love Yourselves, and then the Love Yourself answer. I need to buy three. So that's another $100 some. Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not doing it right now.
Sub K shop, here we come.
Anyways,
Purr! Come through some K-Shop. K-Pop USA Online. You know that stuff
wow.
is expensive.
And I tell you, look, y'all should come to us. We are deep in these K-pop trenches.
Oh
Listen,
man,
if you
don't
a new
even.
listen, if you're a
Ooh.
new stan and you're trying to find merch or magazines or just albums in general, come through. I got you. I've got like multiple places. Either been in Georgia, Atlanta, I think one in Kansas,
Huh?
LA.
No,
There's a couple in LA. I thought there was one in Kansas. I can't remember which
no.
one it is. There's probably
Devin said if there was one in Kansas, I would have been there by now.
I would be broke. I would be the brokest of broke.
well, because
He's
I
like,
know a couple. There's K-pop USA with online, which is Las Vegas. LA has
Mhm.
3, which is Choice LA, Sub K Shop, if I'm correct, and then Georgia Atlanta probably has 3 then, but I can't remember.
I'm
There's
gonna move to Georgia.
the closest one to me is Texas.
Probably Texas then.
Yeah, there's not a single one in Kansas. So
We don't have one here in Ohio either. They probably have one in Columbus or something. I haven't looked, but probably do because they have K barbecue and stuff down in Cincinnati and Columbus. So I'm just assuming they have places like.
that sounds good right now. Okay, anyway.
Okay, this episode is
Okay.
not about albums.
Not yet.
If you want the deets, we could add that to here. come for informational, like info on here. We will help y'all out get through these K-pop streets
I'll
These
post
and not
that
dark
for you.
times.
I'm just
and
hungry.
not get attacked because these mofos crazy. Anyways,
Plus, I don't want y'all to be like how I was when I started K-pop and didn't know where things would be at, and then go on websites that you're not supposed to and spend hundreds of dollars and it not come because it's a scam.
Yeah.
that's it. I have never been scammed, so I feel bad for Layla. Go ahead.
I will tell y'all though, some of the shops have TikToks, and those are really good ways to find good deals.
Yup.
All right, this episode is things we should leave, or yeah, things we should leave, as in K-pop fandoms, people who enjoy K-pop, um, leave in 2022. Since today is the 1st of January, we in 2023, and we're not gonna be doing the shenanigans y'all did all last year.
Which was
We
tiring
made
and stressful.
we did a list, but we could add more to it because I just three just popped in my head just thinking about it. But all right. We're gonna start with stop. We're gonna start. This is for the companies. JYP, YG, SM, Hybe, Cletus, all that jazz. Even the little ones who think people ain't paying attention. We paying attention.
Ulim, FM.
Especially if
We
if
are
you're a small company but you
always
have a group.
watching.
Always. If you're a small company but you have a group that makes some noise and we notice, we're going to look at your company. And if you
Like
do something
ATs.
questionable,
I will tell you right now, I'll be watching.
we
I
always
watch
watch.
everything.
I'm just gonna let y'all know.
You would think we live in Korea how much we keep watching.
Listen, I hold companies accountable for anything happens, and be like, "Why'd you do that?" Because you don't know at any given moment that something happens, cultural appropriation hits. You gotta hold accountable from the get go.
Right, so this is the thing. I get, because me being a hairstylist, me and Dev and Layla in the future, we get, you know, how y'all want to get the feel of the aesthetic of, certain videos and, storylines or whatnot. But stop, and I say stop with a capital letter, culture appropriating to get a theme across. You don't have to culture appropriate to get the theme across. You don't
Mm-hmm.
have to give people braids, dreads to get a theme
Mm-hmm.
across. You don't have to put do rags
Mm-mm.
on men who have hair on their head to get a point across. Not
You can use a
every
scarf.
black artist in America even wore do rags. It was very like Tupac never wore a do rag because he had
He,
no hair, so he didn't wear one. Why would?
he, he wore a bandana.
Yeah, he wore a bandana, but it's not a do rag though.
No, I know. I'm just saying he wore a bandana. That's about it. Y'all say even.
There's people who never like. I don't think I've ever seen freaking Dr. Dre in a do rag. Like what the hell?
50 Cent was, but that was in the 2000s.
Yeah, in the 2000s they wore them heavy.
Like nothing.
Look,
Dr.
okay,
Dre.
I'm
Yes,
showing my.
Dr. Dre never wore do-rags.
I'm gonna show
From
my
what I
age.
can
All right.
remember.
In the 90s, people wore stocking caps. They didn't wear do rags. I don't know why they wore them stocking caps, but they did.
They wore stocking caps, and then those wannabe stocking caps that had the little like lid thing coming out of them.
Berets.
No.
No, it was a stocking cap, but they had like the opening part, top part tied up at the top, so it looked weird. Like the kind of.
No, it looked like a quarter of the bill of a hat was coming out of it. Like I can't remember what they're called. It looked like
Yeah.
a stocking cap. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but yeah, so you don't have to do, or you like, when you
Yeah,
do like,
you don't
okay, for
have
example, when did Mark, y'all did, what comeback was that? Was it 90s Love?
to. Do they put him in one?
They put
The
Mark,
only one I'm
they put
thinking of.
Mark and Win in one. If you look at the
A
pictures, it's
do-rag?
Mark and Win.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was 90 Loves era.
Mark
I'm
had
trying to
one
think
Okay.
under his hat,
2010.
and Win had one on, and you could see it. And it looked like he had a cone head. It was they be stop abusing women, all right? Disclaimer: leave the Chinese members alone. Y'all be trying to set them up, and they act like y'all ain't do nothing. Y'all are the
Listen,
stylists in the company. Stop doing that to them, and that means all of them, all the Chinese members of your company, not just VDT. Okay, all the EXOs left, so they out. Yeah.
No, they're not.
No.
Kai,
Kai
that
has to go through
sparkly ass weird thing that they had him
I mean, I'm talking about the
in.
Chinese members. I ain't talking about.
Okay.
Okay.
We ain't gonna. Yeah, SM is the freaking repeat. SM and YG are repeat offenders of doing ratchet
have,
shit.
This is going to be a running joke because I swear it's confirmed. They have this like weird closet just full of all sorts of weird ass do-rags. Like, where did y'all get them? Like, what?
Do-rags. Y'all got a hidden.
That chainmail, whatever it was, because even Lisa from Blackpink wore one for Kingdom. Yes, they might look good, but not all Korean people. They're supposed to be from Black people.
They could have gave her a goddamn scarf. They have so many. You could find so many nice silk scarves.
And Lisa would have looked good in a scarf. She got the head type for it. I'm sorry.
She like that were her bangs would have been fire.
Layla.
Okay? Her head is not big. It's not little.
Not big, I'm just saying.
Like, look, bro. Her head is not that big. Let her wear her bandanas and stuff.
Like just a little bit, like a scarf, like a silk scarf with like gold with it, because that's the theme they were trying to go with her bangs popping out a bit. It was like cute as hell. Looked like she was going out for a day, and had some like clothes on at the same time. It looked cute, but they put her in chainmail, and I was like, why are we doing this today?
Like there are other like not all 90s artists even wore stuff like braids and stuff. Like Aaliyah didn't wear braids. Monica didn't wear braids until later on in her career, like when she was an adult. Like she started wearing box braids now. She's like 40 something. She just started wearing them like in the last 10 years. She did not wear them in the 90s.
Exactly. I think with this resurgence of Y2K, we need to understand that you can't, because it is not a
aesthetic.
Oh, it's not an aesthetic. It is a protective hairstyle that no one but the Black community needs to deal with. That is not for us.
Black community and people mixed with Black, not
the Asian
people
communities
who are Hispanic, Asian, Black. No. And that goes for the Puerto Ricans and the Cubans, because not all y'all are black, mixed with Black, so stop lying to yourselves. I'm not Black.
But anyway, we digress.
Okay. Anyways, yeah, like Sogi, her comeback of 2022, she did. I don't care what nobody say. I don't know if she said it. I didn't watch her little video of her talking about her comeback, whatever. Need to watch it. But there was a reference to Aaliyah. And you know, if you know, if you're an Aaliyah fan. Aaliyah wore like biker leather, like baggy pants in general, had the belt with her name on it, wore Timberlands, wore sneakers, she wore boots. Her hair was always straight. She wore sunglasses all the time until like closer to the 2000s, and she stopped wearing them as much. But her hair was always straight. She had very visible face frame and layers in her hair.
Mm-hmm.
Well, until like 96, until she passed. Like she even had layers then, longer layers. There were layers. She always had her hair bone straight. She rarely wore curls. She wore curls for like award shows, but her hair was straight majority of the time. Sogi did like a video, and it was kind of looked like something out of Try Again, kind of in a way. And I was like, only Sogi get points for that, because SM was kind of actually somebody at SM was listening. I don't know if they hired a new stylist team or a new hairstylist or new interns who actually pay attention to pop culture or social media, but they need a raise.
Yes.
They need
There's one thing I want to say. Because I see a lot of people, like, listen, I understand and I support, there's a lot of white K-pop fans who are trying to, like, culture appropriate, like, just for, like, Black people. But, like, listen, we have mostly our own voice. And the one thing that irritates me a lot is, like, you'll understand what I'm talking about, is that 3 braids to the side, like 3 or 4s to the side. And then people will be like, oh, that's culture appropriating. I'm like, it's 3 or 4 braids on the side of their head, so you don't have to shave the side of their head.
I
And I
mean, yeah,
don't see
it's
that as
kind
a
of meant
problem.
for an illusion to make it look like you have an undercut, but you don't. But
Yeah.
it's kind of in the middle.
Yes. If it's
Like that's
more,
like
I see if it's more than four, then that's doing too much.
yeah, it's like it's Y2K ish. Like
What were you doing?
it's in the middle of it.
No,
Like you
we're not
can,
having
it's
coffee.
like black culture, but it's a little bit in the other realm. Like there are like y'all over here trying to pay attention
Are
to
you thirsty?
'90s references, to urban quote unquote aesthetic, but y'all can still look at Y2K, Britney Spears, and them because some of them
Christina
outfits,
Aguilera.
some of them hairstyles was cute. Okay, they'll try to Lizzie McGuire hairstyles was on.
Get out of the kitchen. There's nothing in there for
Don't
you.
play with her.
I like some of the like the low buns where they would put the hair up and then it would
Yeah,
just
like the
spikes at
low
the end. That's
ponytails.
cute as
Like they did
hell,
have,
but the little
they
bit of hair
had
is coming out.
a surgent of like the two ponytails to the side with the chopsticks in there, but don't do chopsticks. Do hair sticks. They have hair sticks
For a reason.
for a reason. Chopsticks are for eating. Hair sticks are for hair. Like that's what Nicki Minaj kind of used for Chung Lee. I think she used hair sticks,
I don't
but
know. It was
Reminder: do not
a, cer- a certain
put
someone tried to
uh
use it as an example to try to gaslight people. But we ain't gonna talk about him today because he a whole walking red flag. Um
don't put I'm trying to remember the name for them, but the little dots that are from Indian culture. I can't remember exactly which
Oh, you
one.
mean in the middle of your like the way they put in the middle of them? Like yeah.
Yes.
I can't remember
Please,
what they're called either, but I
please,
get what
for
you
the
mean.
love of everything, do not bring that
there's
in
a lot of
to
stuff that y'all think is
2023
aesthetic and like
because that was not even okay
style is
when
literally has
Gwen
religious
Stefani
ties
did
to
it.
it.
Don't do it.
It has religious ties to it. Do not do stuff that y'all think, oh, it's cute. No, that's not what
No.
we're not gatekeeping stuff.
Mm-mm.
Y'all keep thinking people gatekeeping. This stuff has religious ties to it. It
Cultural
has
background.
yeah, it has a cultural thing to it. Like y'all literally try to bully Lisa, talking about she was culture appropriating. Y'all motherfuckers didn't even know she was Buddhist.
Or doing research of what her culture is. It
She
was
is from
kind of like
Thailand. What?
it was shocking that they actually did her culture because we didn't really hear anything or they do anything dedicated to Lisa with her culture until How Do You Like That? And it was shocking. And it shows that some of the fans don't do any research
It's
of
also to the
Lisa.
fans. Newsflash: all idols don't believe in God.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Okay. Go back.
Including Lisa, and
And some people I don't
apparently now that Soyeon is Buddhist. Apparently,
and that now idols have the same ideology if I'm right
Idolid.
as you.
not all of them have the same ideology because obviously they all were raised in different countries in different areas. So obviously they're not gonna have the same outlook and thoughts in life. So y'all need to stop thinking y'all personal feelings and thoughts on situations, unless they say so out their mouths. Don't assume your idol agrees with you. Because there's a chance they like, what is the big deal? They're probably
Like
sitting behind there
yes,
talking to each other like, what are they tripping about? What is going on?
like
Like they
like yes, your idols might be Christian or Catholic, but they're how they see things differently is gonna be different from you because they're from a different country. So that means Christian, the things that they've been taught, are gonna be completely different from what you're taught. So if they see something that doesn't sound right to you or sounds off, you can't really blame them and be like, oh, they're not really Christian. That's just what they were taught.
they were raised differently. Like if you think about it, if you deep into Korean, like we are deep down into this stuff. Koreans, like a lot of stuff they do, like the president right now, they have literally is anti-foreigner, anti-woman. Like he don't want no. He's starting to try to figure ways to get foreigners out of Korea, South Korea right now. He trying to revert. He trying to pull a Roe v. Wade over there because they got her. They freaking abortions okay like years later after ours, but they're trying to get rid of that. They have a man's rights group over there for what rights I don't know what they looking for because the law is made around them any freaking way. I don't know what
Yes.
rights they talking about. Rights to what? Abuse your wife and people mind their business, bro. Go. And now, newsflash. A lot of I just read this article that says Korean men are not working out as much and are drinking more. In other words, single is what I hear.
Yep.
Y'all are tubby and drunk, so y'all think somebody gonna marry y'all? Okay. You think somebody gonna procreate? You know, that's not gonna happen. I'm just letting y'all know. Y'all can try to, and then some of these men try to marry foreigners so they can abuse them because foreigners don't have that many rights in that country.
Not even the
They
slightest.
manipulate these foreign women, marry them, bring them over to Korea, and abuse them, and they can't do nothing about it. The only thing they could probably do is flee back to their
What
country.
what I find shocking is that since they made the law that they're not going by the age system that they have anymore and are going by like just international age, like how we are, like I'm 21. That's 20. What a word.
Almost 26.
Don't try to
Thank
play
you
her.
very
She
much.
said whatever she is. She said
I'm
that was
not trying to be rude.
that was
It's
20.
been 20. I can't be today. I haven't been for the last passes.
All
But
right,
like they don't go
Layla.
through
All
the
right,
year.
I see it.
I'm sorry. I could have said you're half 52, like all yours is drinking at the same time. But I was just being respectful, okay? Okay.
People when people ask me my age, I just say like in the K-pop world, they ask me my age.
All enough.
I just name an idol. I don't even say it. I'll be like, I'm the same age as Jen. That's it. Like, don't.
All enough. Here we go.
That's all you need. I'm the same age as
All enough.
Ken. I'm the same age as Hani. You don't need to know nothing else. I'm the same age as Becca. All right, that's it.
I'm just saying. Like they don't go by like, oh, I'm 22, like how they used to. They're just 21, 26, 28, 30. I think some of them had to go 33 times at this point.
Like you could tell they needed to get rid of it anyway because you asked them this, and some of them, even the ones who were born and raised in Korea, be like, and they be able to calculate in their head, I'm 30. Literally, Dongwook forgot how old he was for a second,
Dongwook. Poor
bruh.
He's
He was
like, I'm
like,
kid.
I'm
42.
40. What? I was like, yeah, they
He's
need to get
like,
He's
rid of that.
42. That poor baby.
Boy lived 42 years in Korea and still don't remember how to say his freaking birth, his,
he thought he
his
was
age.
41. He said, I'm 41. They're like, no, you're not. You're 42. He's like, I'm
He was
42.
like, what?
42? Excuse me?
He
Also,
got rid of the age system himself a
Dongwook
long
is
time
an
ago.
actor. He's a Korean actor. He's 40, but 42. He don't look it,
42
but he's
now.
42.
42
He do
now.
not.
He
Does
looks like he
not
about
look.
30 something.
If
31,
that.
32. Bro. What else? Oh,
Anyway,
fan
don't speak for
signs
the idols. Don't speak
that
for the idols.
That's all I gotta say.
you don't know these people from a can of paint. Don't go over there talking about like there are people that I be like, that don't even sound right. Like some situations I do that too. Sometimes they be like, oh, so did this. That don't even sound like that. What you mean? Like the people
The
who were
whole
like people who were taking up for Sungri in the situation, they're like, no, he would never. You know him? Something about him was off to me. Literally,
Yeah.
the whole like Netflix show they gave him where he was literally walking around YG harassing his freaking colleagues. Like, black people was done with him. They were over him the first 5 seconds. Like, there's a reason you're the matinee who only get 2 lines, sir. There's a reason. I don't care.
and yes, this is gonna make a lot of people angry, but it's the truth. And you know what? His
He's very
his seniors were telling him not to do certain things, and he still did it. So
he thought he was grown, so he thought he could do what he wanted, and he in jail.
anyway,
Fan signs. Those people, y'all be following them on Instagram and Twitter. Y'all be getting exclusive photos of your faves at fan signs or fan meetings and stuff. That some people don't even like the fan signs because they do too much and make them uncomfortable.
Don't get me started on fan
Fan
calls.
signs.
need
Some fan
y'all.
signs in Korea come over here in America for the concerts. So if certain groups come over here, they follow them over here on the same plane.
Yep.
Invading personal space on that plane. follow them over here to go to the concert. Da, da, da. There's a rule in a lot of these banquet halls, these stadiums that you cannot bring cameras in. They don't let you
Certain,
bring expensive cameras in here, like
yeah,
photography cameras. You can bring your
certain
phone.
professional cameras are
Yeah,
not
like
allowed.
professional cameras, like you were a freaking photographer for a magazine or a editorial, whatever. Those kind
You
of
have
cameras,
to
you're
have
not
a
allowed to bring
pass.
them in. You can only
I don't
bring.
even know how they sneak them in. That's the real
I feel
question.
like they be bribing the
I'm
freaking
I'm
security and let
not
them bring it
gonna.
in or something. They just give them like $200. You'd be like, here, if you could, you could
Mm.
have, you could afford a 3,000 plus freaking camera to bring to take pictures and knocking people upside the head with them. You can afford to throw a tip to bribe somebody and let you bring stuff in there. Literally, you up here bringing this big old camera and hitting people in the back of the head, and then hitting them or starting stuff with people, and then get so playing the victim when they hit you back. This is
Do
not
not.
Korea. Foreigners, you are the foreigner now. You hit somebody here and you get your butt beat, you get in trouble.
That
And
camera broken?
there's
Sorry.
people
That
who do
camera get
not
broken,
care going to
you
jail
you get
because
a
they know
black
how much
eye, you
bail
go
is.
home with a shiner,
A
and
shiny.
a shiny, yep, a shiny, and a freaking like a scratch or whatever on you because you invaded somebody's personal space, personal bubble when they were trying to enjoy a concert. That sounds like a you problem. Because over there in Korea, they tend to some people attack foreigners on purpose because they know they don't have rights. Over
And
Mm-hmm.
here,
here,
y'all guys are
even
the
though
foreigners, so
I
y'all
mean,
come over
even though the
here.
foreigners here have some rights, people do not care, and they know how much bail can be, and bail's not that expensive, even if you get in a fight in a
Y'all have more
concert.
rights over here being a foreigner because like human
Seriously,
some human rights like they ain't gonna let you get jumped like for real. The people who do it to you, they gonna arrest. But if you start it, you gonna fuck
that's
around and find out.
self-defense.
Fuck around and find out is a thing. You're gonna get hit back,
Yep.
and whatever it is, whatever it is, what it is, because you started it. Don't bring you iPhone cameras and Android cameras be good as ever. Is like better. Like you can freaking do that stuff on your phone now. You don't have to do it on your freaking like. You don't have to get a expensive camera and go home and upload it and edit it. You could do that on your phone now. You don't have to do that. Just get
On
a
just my
phone with
Samsung.
a good camera that you can zoom in and it don't be fuzzy and you get
For
good photos.
example, for example, which I wish I should have got, but I regretted it. Samsung S22 Plus Ultra, whichever one you get. That zoom is iconic. It's so like so
You
worth
mess
it.
around and zoom. You zoom in with that phone, you're gonna see somebody's pores. Don't do that.
Seriously, that whole camera quality is
They're
so
gonna pay you
good.
to They're gonna pay you to get rid of that photo. Stop
Like,
playing.
listen. I could talk on and on about how much I love Samsung, but we're not talking about that here. We're not
Was it
talking about it here. Can we talk about
stop?
fan calls?
Another. Hold on, I got. That's been behind there. One more. Stop with capital STOP in red letters, and I know how Koreans feel about the red letters. Sorry. Sexualizing idols. All right, they don't want you, especially if you're 14 and they're 25. I was about to say something disrespectful.
Seriously, that's like it just weirds me out. Like for example, like the whole like problematic part when like Nicki's 16. Yes, he's a young boy, minor still.
He's a whole teenager
But
still.
it's the fact that we have 30 to 35-year-old women talking about I can't wait till he's 18, and then you have people who are like older than him, like in his 20s, talking about he's sexualizing himself and he's encouraging it, and it's like no, he's a normal 6-year-old boy who does what any other 6-year-old boy would do, show their abs, because they just want people to see
Literally,
him
if you could,
appealing. But
if you could reverse back to when you were 16 and the way your crushes and the boys in your school acted when you were 16, they act exactly the same.
so for him to do what he does is completely
If you were to,
normal. But don't
if you're a grown adult and he's doing that, and I'm 30, he does that. I want to chuck a fucking chocolate at him. I don't want to get with
I
him. I want to
I
hit him and chase him down the street like somebody's abuelita. Stop playing with me.
I
All
just
right.
be ignoring him. I'm like, just he's being a boy. That's all that matters.
He's
I'm
being a
not about
child, but
to
I'm older
do
and
anything.
I will whoop him. I don't care.
I won't even look at him even if he's 18. I won't even look at him even
Me
if he's
either,
22.
honestly.
I'm
I've
sorry,
seen
but
Nikki when he was on Island. I saw him when he was a
yes,
child. I don't know.
And I'm
He's a
not doing
baby.
that. I'm gonna wait till he's 18. No, that's still too young, and I'm 21. That like even
A lot
I
of
was
older
18 and
women
I
in
thought that's
Korea
way
in
too
general,
young.
a lot of older women in Korea in general, anyways, don't even date younger men. It was like one. There was one woman on one of the reality shows that her husband was younger than her. People are like, oh my god, da, da, da. But like, it's usually the men who are older than their wives, not the women. They're older than their husbands. So,
Hmm.
uh, no, just leave the boy alone. All right. Younger Stan, stop projecting your daddy issues. Age may not be a problem for you, but Backyard ain't about to catch a case for your ass.
Even Youngie, no one's about to catch a case for a
Yogi ain't
12-year
catching
old.
no case. Yugim ain't catching no case. Bam Bam ain't catching no goddamn case.
Anyone over
Motherfucking
the age of
no.
21 ain't catching a case.
Motherfucking Jamin ain't catching that motherfucking Mark Lee ain't catching the case. Fucking Chinla ain't catching the case. No. No.
No, listen, just no K-pop idol over the age of 21 is catching a case for your 12-year-old self. I'm saying it right now because I'm kind of tired. I'm just gonna say the truth. I'm kind of tired of being called a hag when I'm literally in the same age group as
You've been
2000
a hag
Liner
for
and
wait,
2001.
wait, no. You've been a hag for 3 years and now you tired. I've been a hag for 5 and 6 and you've been
What
complaining.
is
Bitch,
the thing?
stop.
I'm saying I understand how you feel because it's annoying. I have 12-year-olds telling me,
Nobody.
"Oh, you're 21, you're a hat. You can't date any K-pop idols." I'm literally 2 weeks older than I
And
am.
they sound stupid because guess what? I'm a hag. I'm 21. Guess who's the same age as I am? I'm legal. They won't catch a case if they date me. They
I'm
will catch
literally
a
the
case if they
same
date
age.
you.
I'm only a couple months, like 5 months younger than the 2000 liners of Stray Kids who were born in September. And that's quite sad. I'm called hag. Like, cool, I guess. At
No,
least I'm more
I'm
desirable.
gonna keep it a book. Devin, don't say nothing. All right. All my biases, all my biases, I could date. Because guess what? I'm legal. Fuck. And a lot of them are younger than me, but they're not younger than me to the point where that's like illegal. They're younger.
Mhm.
My youngest freaking bias is like 24. However old Han is, I don't know how old the boy is, but he ain't
Han is
fucking
22. Han
23.
is 22.
yeah, 22. See, look, the youngest is 22. He's still legal. If I wanted to date him, I could, but I don't want to, but I could.
Yeah, he's 22 because they turned 22 in September. I was thinking about Hyunjin because he turned.
I'm not gonna mention a certain Chinese man that Devin's waiting for me to say. Because I'm not. So I
A
don't believe.
what?
A Chinese man.
No, I don't want to talk about him either. I'm sad. Leave me alone.
Why are you sad? What did he do to
I'm
you?
sad.
Devin is a part of 97 liners. If you know who 97 liners is, it's Bam Bam, Yu-Gi-Oh, JK, Unwook, Jaehyun. It's about 30 of them.
Listen, listen, just added Ben Chan. He got added to the seven. I don't know
Bang
how to say it.
Chan, freaking Lisa. Like,
Rose.
Most of them
man,
I want to throw out a window, but you know.
Well, I was just saying like the actual group chat because
Hmm.
people were talking
Hey,
about
Bam
how
Bam, if you're listening, add Devin to the group.
he would do
Do
it.
not
He would do
refrain
it.
from doing so, please.
He would do it because
Devin,
they cause
Devin
havoc,
come back to us like, you
and
know
I
what
would
the
love
fuck
it.
this just said? Like, I don't care. Let y'all little weird off the wall asses stay over there. JK don't even answer BTS in the group chat. What do you think he answers 97? That'd be messed up if he actually answers 97 letters, but ignore his
That would be
chunks.
that would be
That's not about JK. Okay, anyways. If he
anyway.
ignore everybody else, what
Off
you
topic.
JK, you awake? Walking past, texting his phone.
Oh
Apparently you're
yeah.
awake. Didn't
Is
text
fan
back,
calls on?
but okay.
Is fan calls on the list? Because fan calls
Ooh,
should be on that list.
ooh,
Fan calls.
yeah.
Do
Fan calls.
not,
Oh,
do not
go ahead.
wear lingerie or say really creepy things
Like
or
mommy.
make
That's not
them
it.
no, not just that. Don't ask them or make them call you mommy or call them daddy. It is fucking weird.
And
Stop.
uncomfortable.
The
For the
fact that we
idols
have
and the
to
people
keep
watching it.
talking about this is ridiculous. Please stop.
You should
Please.
learn which idols actually feed into that Delulu stuff and do that with them.
Because I'll
All of
tell you
them are not
what,
like that,
it's
but some of
not the
them are
ones
because they
that
think it's
have
funny.
popped up that people are doing that to.
It's just like secondhand embarrassment because like you have people watching your fan calls and then watching the idol be uncomfortable makes it 10 times worse. Because like, why are you asking idols to call you mommy
Mm.
or daddy or whatever? Because you have the money. And why are you wearing lingerie and then putting on the internet? Oh, he liked it. He was just laughing and giggling, not noticing how uncomfortable Han is because he has
Mm.
very horrible, like just such bad social anxiety, and he's trying to be respectful because that's what Korean culture is, being respectful to women. Not all of them, but you know what I'm talking about.
Mm.
It,
Han's being
Korean
respectful to
culture
women,
is being
okay?
respectful to women, but there are some men who think they are the
Above.
hierarchy and they want to be disrespectful and they put their hands on women or degrade women because they think they're better and they're
But yeah, it's like, why do you do that? Even though you know you're in the wrong and say, oh, it was just a joke, it was just for fun. He's like, not, no,
No,
take it
Let
it's
me
serious.
not
honest to
That's
funny.
lying.
learn,
It's
take
not hee hee ha ha.
psychology and learn body language to know when somebody's uncomfortable. You could tell the difference between
It's
somebody
really not
liking
that
you.
hard.
It's not. It really ain't. It's the difference between somebody being like hyping you up and starting stuff, like flirting back. Because there's some idols who will flirt back because they don't really care.
I know a specific
But
idol, but I don't want to talk about him.
there's a 97 liner that be flirting. But whatever.
There's
Can
a
we talk
few
about?
of them, okay?
Yeah,
There's
there's
a
a
few
lot.
of them.
There's a
There's
lot.
one specifically in my mind
There's
that
one
be
specifically
flirting.
in my mind, but we're not talking
Yeah,
about it.
I know who you're talking
Um,
about. Shut up.
Your best friend. Your best friend be flirting with
No,
everybody.
no, not my best
listen,
friend.
just
Your
Who?
best.
listen. Um,
Layla's
we
future
want to see
husband best
more.
friend.
We're not talking about it. Listen, the one thing I would encouraging love to see is like, for example, it was in the same year, and she was just like, Han saw that she was drinking obo milk bubble tea, and he's like, oh, what are you drinking? She's like, oh, I got turtle milk tea, and he's like, oh, that's cool, best friends, and like this one, that was cute. Like you guys were trying to seem like friends
Mm.
because stays and stray kids always seem like best friends and family and all that type of stuff. That's what I want to see. You encouraging, you hyping them up, you acting like you guys are best friends, just being nice and not doing anything that's uncomfortable for the idol because you think that's gonna make them like you. That's gonna make them not want to like you and not want to talk to you at all.
You will be blacklisted, just so y'all know.
Yes,
Yeah, really.
because that's the one thing it's uncomfortable. Like I see a lot of like people like, oh, Felix, you're doing so great, and your freckles are amazing, all this type of stuff, encouraging. Like Subin, someone wrote a whole letter to Subin about how he's such a great leader and how he takes care of the boys and
And
how
he
they want him to
cried
keep
because he's a big
continuing to
baby.
do what he did. Yeah, and he cried. You could like he literally cried because he probably never heard that much encouraging words from somebody in so long, which probably brought a pep in his step and gave him the spirit like I can keep on doing this, the and I can get better at this and all that type of stuff than just being
I
uncomfortable
can
and
actually
weird.
deal with these poor children.
Or
Poor
the
children.
one thing we need
There's
to
one poor child in that group or two that be driving him up the wall.
we know who. You know
We know who the
We
two.
all know who.
One of them I adopted, and I kind of regret it, but it is what it
who. The one thing I would say we should leave in 2022, but won't be left in 2022,
Mhm.
is buying idols listen LYSN like listen listen however you say it, or bubble accounts just to hate on them and bring up negativity on their bubble accounts because you're spending money and being negative because they're friends with an idol that you solo stand. Like that's not right. Like why are you doing it?
That's weird. Very weird behavior. Because guess
Hello,
what?
idols are friends with each other. This
Idols
is
are
not
friends
a
with each
weird
other.
concept for y'all. I know it
Like we
Because
isn't.
said before, 97 liner group chat. JK, who's under High,
Groups in
is friends
general are
with
friends with each
Jayan,
other.
who's under SM, who's bands from Bam Bam and Yugim, who are under Warner. Literally, three different
and
companies.
not Jeffy. I mean
Well, they're under
Jake said he likes you.
Warner, under Got7 ish,
Yeah.
and they're under um.
They're
I think fucking
under.
Yugim's still under.
You know what? I'm not going to talk about it. Yes, he's still under AOMG.
Yeah, he's under EMG, and then Bam Bam's under Sublime. I believe. Is
Sublime.
he?
No.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, it is.
But yeah.
Yeah, 'cause
Like
Mm.
what they should leave in 2022. Uh, Stop speaking for idols. You don't know them. Devin said so. Also, stop assuming their sexuality.
Seriously, that stuff is annoying. Like, why? Like, yes, we have some idols who probably said that they are pansexual or bisexual. Like Felix, for example, he hasn't said he was bisexual, but he answered a question where a fan said, "Who's your ideal type?" And he asked male or female, and she said both. And he said female for stays and male for Changmin. But that does not make you go and say, "Oh, he's bisexual. He's a bisexual king." Like, yes, he has things like he supports the LGBTQ. All Shaggy supports LGBTQ, and he does wear bisexual bracelets. But that doesn't make him bisexual until he comes out and says, "Hey, I'm bisexual." Because
Because
if they say something, continue.
in that way, you're outing them without them outing themselves. Let him do it in his own way. You wouldn't like anybody doing that stuff, PSA and it, and all on Twitter saying, "Oh, so so is gay," and da da da. They didn't even tell their families or nothing. Boy is in Korea. His family's in Australia. You're here telling this stuff as if he is. Then his family, his sisters, and his mom are gonna find out on Twitter.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah. What was it? Sehun was driving home somewhere, live on Instagram, and somebody asked him, "Is he gay?" And he answered in English and said, "No." He said, "Are you gay?" Read it out and said, "No." Y'all don't stop playing with that boy. Have you seen Sehun? He looked like he
EXO
would burn
will
down a house with
make
his
you
face. Stop playing with him.
cry. Like, why do y'all keep messing with them?
He has
Baekhyun, Sehun, like, seriously.
I'm gonna tell you this for the new fans.
What is that?
One thing you ain't gonna do with EXO is play around because they will hurt your feelings.
Mm-hmm.
All
Because
I
you
can do
play around, you will find out.
you go fuck around and find out with it. It don't matter how cute or fairy-like that human look like or how sweet Dio look. They will hurt your. Baekhyun does this stuff for fun. Don't play with him. Don't.
Even Dave was like say that, oh, he's gay, and I'm like, just because he does like feminine like type things does not mean he's gay. Like, you can be a male and have
People
feminine
have been
energy.
assuming that Ken is gay for God knows how long. Since he
Even
debuted, probably.
people assume he's
He
gay, and I'm like,
people have assumed that Heyman is. People have assumed who else?
There's
There's
so
been a
many
few.
idols, and it's just because they're
Jimin.
hyper
They
feminine.
assumed that Jimin was because he's cute. You don't like him because he's good looking. At the end of the day,
like yes, we know Jimin could pull men and women like nothing because he has this siren type energy.
because people bypass gay Jimin problem. It's a you problem.
But just because he is in his feminine energy, if he is, or it's just gentle masculinity,
Very gentle
then that's,
masculinity.
yeah, mostly gentle masculinity because it took him a lot of years to like get out of that toxic masculinity and think he has to wear different clothes to make him seem like he's masculine. And I'm just like, over the years, I'm happy that he's in his gentle masculinity. It's like, I don't care what I'm
When I
wearing. You what
tell
I'm gonna wear.
you, debut Jimin was in his fuckboy era.
Ugh,
That
let me
backs
excited.
and freaking Jersey, Lord, that Jimin, Lord,
Black hair Jimin.
black hair Jimin with the jerseys and the snapbacks and the
Yep.
Jordans like that. Oh, don't bring him back.
No.
Leave him back there.
I'm good.
18-year-old Jimin need to stay back in 2013.
You know
He
what
needs to stay
else
there.
we can leave in 2002?
Mm,
But I don't think it's going to stay that way.
You said 2002?
that too.
2022.
I ain't correcting you. I agree. I
In
can. That
2022.
shit should have stayed back there.
We need to leave the mirroring of blame. Like when your fave gets in trouble and is held accountable for something they did that was problematic, do not mirror the blame and say that the person that's trying to hold your favorite accountable and you go and are like, well, your favorite did this. Like, stop doing that.
Seriously, it's annoying.
And you know
Especially if it's been
exactly.
years.
Ooh.
Like if you want to hold people accountable, if they did this problematic thing 5-10 years ago and they haven't repeated that same behavior in their growth and their
growing and
changing,
they're showing they are much better than what they were before.
why you keep bringing it up?
Shut up.
Seriously,
It
the
is
growth,
not
because
needed.
I see people talk about growth all the time, and like, or accountability on TikTok a lot. They're like, if you're gonna hold so and so accountable, you should hold this person accountable, or if,
Who said I didn't? I don't
say
have to go
this,
on the internet to blast it and say every day, I hold so and so accountable. So
like,
like I
or
don't
the
have to
same thing about growth. Like, it's a lot. It's the same thing with Namjoon. It's always that growth. They're like, well, Namjoon has
they
grown.
go
Well,
straight to Namjoon every time. You act like
how
he
about
asked for
someone
that
from
purpose.
Stray Kids? How about someone from EXO? How about someone from NTT? You would, if you've done your research and tell me examples of what growth that person has done, then we can have a conversation. But you telling me, oh,
Namjoon
what's this person's growth? Why are
Namjoon
you
ain't
arguing?
even the same person he was when Mono came out. He ain't even that person no more. What?
No,
Have you heard Indigo? You should. Because that ain't Indigo, Namjoon, and Mono Namjoon ain't the same person.
no.
Mm.
Not even a little bit.
Not even the Do
The
You
actual
era.
growth between those is
Not even
insane.
Do
Growth.
You
And that was in what,
era.
two,
Namjoon.
3 years? 3 years? When did freaking Mono
Because
come out?
Mono, probably like 20, I
19?
want to say 2017.
Oh Lord. Jesus, I thought this shit came out in
The
2019.
Do You era, because I can't remember, I don't remember what the album name is. I'm pretty sure it's Do You, but that was 2015, 2016, and that's a whole completely Namjoon from Mono, and exactly from the album he just came out with. Those are all completely from different three people, and you can see how much growth that man has done, because he's even said, for example, we're not adding the word nega in the word so it doesn't offend anyone of different cultures. Specifically,
Doing stuff like that shows growth. Literally, Juhan back, I don't know what these companies be telling the rappers what goes back to culture appropriation with the whole you're a rapper. You're supposed to be hard and from the hood and da da da. Korea
No.
is the size of Illinois, one. Two, they have so much farm town over there. Their ghetto is not ghetto synopsis to America's ghetto. Don't
yeah.
They don't all
But
have to act like that. If they do, if being, confident and taking up for yourself makes them gangster, that's okay. Cause you coming off of people, all the American idols that came over there, y'all automatically give them street cred. That
like
man,
Johnny's from
oh my
Chicago.
god,
People are like,
he's
oh, he's
from
from Chi-Town. No,
he's from the
honey,
suburbs,
he's
baby.
from the suburbs of Chi-Town. That's a whole
He is
different
from
story.
well, he's from the suburbs. Um, it's different if he hung out downtown with people, yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
But he's from the
like
suburbs.
BM. BM, he's from
Dude is
LA.
from California. He's from
He
LA.
hung out with people. He knows what's right and wrong, and he's never done it. I've never seen him not once culture appropriate
He
any
probably did
culture.
it back in his school days when he was in California, but he quickly changed his
Probably.
behavior. But also, none of his old classmates ever came out and was like, "Oh, BM was an asshole when he was a kid." Like nobody said anything.
No.
He was probably the same person he was when he was 15 that he
Yep.
is at 30. So it's
Goofy
like,
little.
Goofy does
This
not have a filter. His freaking was it invasive thoughts win every time.
Oh my god, the invasive
There
thoughts.
is one thing I would love for us to leave in 2022 so heartily, and that would be assuming an idol coming from a different country like Australia or America, not America, but Australia, the UK, places that aren't America, and they speak English and assume they know Black culture or they know a certain culture. Like what we learn in
No, we're
America.
gonna say America because y'all put way too much faith in the man named Jay Parker. Way too much.
Mm.
But it's just like I see a lot of people getting mad at idols who are like from Australia or the UK, and they're like, "Oh, well, you should have known this."
Australia is a very white country. What is wrong with people?
They learn about 25% of what they learn of America, and we learned probably 15% of what we learn of Australia. So how are we supposed to know what's right and wrong in Australia, and how are they supposed to know what's right or wrong to culture appropriate or anything of Black culture or Native American culture
Mm-hmm.
or any culture in America? And you get mad at them because I see it a lot with Australian, just specifically Australian, because I haven't seen it in the UK. Get mad about them doing certain things or saying certain words or putting things into lyrics. Yes, I'm talking about Stray Kids and like other members like Stefan from Luminous. But like, why are you getting mad at them when they barely even know any culture of America? Like, yeah, they speak English,
Uh,
but they don't know
It's
our
not
culture.
the same. It will never
I'm gonna
be
just
the
let it
same.
out because me and Devin don't want to hear it, but I'm gonna hear it. Jabin Park is not the poster child for American ghetto Asians, because that boy ain't nowhere
No,
near ghetto.
he's from
He
Seattle,
is
Washington.
not even.
He is from the
Mm-mm.
suburbs of Seattle. He's an only child. That boy probably went to a private school. Stop lying.
Not even Jay Parkerman hyphen acts like that, and he's from Seattle.
You okay now?
So how are you gonna expect a man who made higher music in AOG to be like, oh, I'm from he knows this, that, and third about it. No, he's from Seattle,
Mhm.
where underground punk rock music comes
Yeah,
from.
like literally freaking
There's a
angsty,
hole.
freaking
Grunge music. There we go. I was thinking about it
yeah,
today.
garage music, like alt rock, freaking is held at. Like, don't. What are these? Yeah,
Like even
don't. Y'all put
Giselle,
like if y'all gonna put faith in somebody, I put more faith in PH1 than freaking J Bar.
and literally,
Actually, fully
Kehoe's
put
from
my faith in
Canada.
Really,
him.
the boy
Literally,
from New York. Yeah, he has
even
never his whole career of being in
um,
Korea. He has never culture appropriated anything.
He's
literally,
actually been on podcasts and shows and said we need to appreciate where our music comes from. And he literally said it comes from Black culture, and we need to appreciate that we got to use some of that culture.
like seriously,
Be
I give props to
appreciative.
Kehoe. Like Kehoe, like when they asked him that question, and he was just like, even though I'm not from America and I'm from Canada, I know what's right and what's wrong, and I want my members to be educated of what and what not to say. And I was just like, he didn't have to do that. Yes, he's from North America, but he's from Canada. I mean, they do
Boy,
have black people in Canada, but he's
y'all need
from
to stop asking
Canada.
Canadians American questions too, because they don't be over here like that.
No, yes, they might be in North America, but Canada and America are both different places. Both different places.
Different places, different laws, different rules, different upbringing. Okay. Mark Lee is not that boy. Jesus. I don't know how to say. Mark Lee is a rapper, yes. He's good at it. I'm happy. Happy that he's actually getting better the older he's gotten.
Yes.
Because Mark's 16 and Mark 21 and two different people. But his rap, like, that's
Especially after
probably
seeing
why.
that
But
SM Town performance. Woo!
SM needs to give the man's a break. He gonna die at 30 at y'all this rate if y'all don't let the boy
He's gonna be
rest.
bald before that.
Listen, he debuted more than Hyuna has. That's sad.
Um,
This man has
Kenna
been
didn't
in
have
so
that.
many
Kenna didn't
groups.
have that that health issue. She probably would have been. Whoo, she would have been probably. I mean, she's already up there, but she probably would have been BOA level, even though she's right there in that area.
Like seriously, like I just that's the only thing we need in 2020. Like it's like if you're becoming as a new K-pop stan, and you learn that there's idols who aren't from Korea, who are Korean, but like come from different places that aren't America, then please educate yourself first and do research on those countries before you start blatantly accusing an idol for doing something they didn't know what was wrong. Like, yes, they might listen to that type of music, and yes, they might see that aesthetic, but they don't learn that in their history books.
Right.
It's the same thing we don't learn about Native Americans in Korea. I just learned that there's natives in Korea because I did my research. After people were, I think it was Joy, where she had native Koreans, and people were like, oh, they're appropriating Native Americans. I actually did research on my own, and I'm not even a Native American because I just wanted to see what it was. And I learned something new.
Yeah. Like you learning something new is normal. Like it's not, growing and learning as a person is a human thing. You're gonna grow and learn. The stuff you 13, 14, 15-year-old stands are saying now are not gonna say when you're 21, 22.
And you are going to look back on those days, I sometimes do, and you just think, why was I like this? What could I have done to stop myself for being the way I am? How I was. That's because we don't have a conscience at the age of 14. You grow that when you're older, in your 20s. Trust me. You do a lot of mistakes. I'm coming as a 21-year-old. You live and you
Other
learn twice.
wrongdoings are magnified. So when they do something wrong, y'all overdo it and be like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you did that." Y'all have done worse things, and it's because y'all did it and nobody was watching y'all. Chill out.
Even the whole thing with Yoongi, like the whole 2020 situation where he put out his August C2 album, and I think it was What Do You Think? And it was a Jim Jones thing, and people are like, oh,
But the thing
he's
is, they did that, but like a lot of hip hop artists in America have did that too. So
it's just like it was annoying to me because they're like, oh, he's using something that it was against black people. Jim Jones was against everyone that wasn't white. So for
he actually wasn't against anybody. Well, okay, I read up on Jim Jones,
yes,
and on paper, what he was doing wasn't really. I think he was just a master manipulator, and him
yeah,
adopting minority
children,
kids made him look like he was on people's side when he wasn't.
no,
Because literally, what was it? A governor or some mayor came over there to visit his little. He took over an island that wasn't his in the first place to take over.
yep,
Um, he basically colonized a place that was already like people lived already on the
already,
little island. Um,
yes,
and then a governor or something went down there to visit, but never made it back because him and his little goons met them at the plane and killed them.
yes,
And I feel like he only killed like people narcissists who do stuff like that only kill themselves because they know they're about to get caught.
yes,
So he probably did the whole Kool-Aid thing because he knew he was gonna get caught for murder.
yes.
And he rather a lot of people, a lot of narcissists, manipulative men or women would rather die than go to jail.
Because they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
But just
So
it's
yeah,
just
but like it wasn't he wasn't doing it to like glorify Jim Jones. He was just using a sound of something he said.
of a speech, and he was just like, "What do you think? What do you think about this? What do you think about that?" Like he wasn't trying to be offensive. He actually probably did his research on it and put it into the song because of what he said wasn't right.
Like
So
that
when that
man,
got
Yugi is very much OCD about his music, and he would literally redo a take 50, 11 times before he likes it. So he probably like looked it up and was like, "Oh, okay." And then like on paper, Jim Jones don't seem like a bad person, but then when you hear what he did, now you know he was a bad person.
hmm
Read his
and
story,
probably
it's like,
has
"Oh,
some
I get it,
too.
I get it, I get it." And then you look, like think about what he did. He literally gave Kool-Aid to his Korean son that he adopted, his Korean son, his wife, and his kids drunk it. He killed his son and his grandkid
Yes.
to make a weird point of cult Armageddon, or whatever the hell he was trying to make a point of. Like, why you kill kids or innocent people for no real reason? Like
And
the other kids he adopted, they were gone because they were part of their basketball team and they had a game and they wasn't there when this happened.
yes.
Now they look at back at it and now they know all the stuff he did was not good stuff. He literally
No.
brainwashed these kids. Now that he's gone and they were raised their adulthood without him, they now understand that he was not a good person.
Yep. And
It is
I
what
was
it is.
But yeah, just I can't even listen to What Do You Think the same way because that part of the song was supposed to be a staple of him asking, "What do you think?" And since people brought it up, yes, it was kind of a bad time with the whole George Floyd thing because there's a lot, but at the same time, it kind of wasn't because Yoongi being the person he is, he wanted to make a statement, being someone who's foreign and also a minority when he comes to America because he is Korean. But it just was a bad time because a lot of K-pop stans who were younger got so mad and was like, he shouldn't have done that. It got so bad to the point that he removed it from the song. And I can't listen to it the same anymore because of it. Because it was supposed to be a strong statement and it just doesn't sound the same at the beginning anymore. It's just like a long pause. And it
Yeah,
just
it sounds
shows that, like, it just shows America's really trying to cover up racism and cover up all the things a lot of people did in the 80s and 70s and 90s that kids don't know anymore.
I talk about stuff that happened in the 90s because I was raised or grew up. I was born like all the stuff during before. Like there were two riots in America between 1960 something and 1990s and the 2000s, technically, because we recently had riots too. But there were multiple riots all over the country. So them and with the same problem with black people being abused or used or whatever. It happened in the 60s, and then the same problem and situation happened again in the 90s. Where there's another riot when they burned down LA and did thousands of dollars in damage. And then another freaking after George Floyd died, more riots. Like history keeps repeating itself, and people are not learning from it repeating itself. And it did it 3 or 4 times. People are still ain't thinking about it happening. But the thing was, like in the 90s with the riots in LA, I'm from Michigan anyway. So when that shit was happening, I was a child in Detroit. But I did look it up because Tupac talked about it. He was an adult when it happened. And a lot of shit happened in LA. It was brewing from like 1987 to like it was brewing from 1980s, like the mid to late 1980s over there until 1993, 4 when it happened, and it was like like something blew up, made it worse, which is like the Don King situation.
Mm-hmm.
Was it Don King? That's not his name. Rodney King. Sorry.
I was like, I wouldn't really know because I haven't done that
Yeah,
research.
Don King is the fucking promoter for Tyson. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Rodney King, the whole situation with the cops beating him with them little sticks and da da da, and somebody
Oh yeah, no,
recording
I know
him.
that.
That
I know you're
that was
talking
like
about
the
that.
big that, and then the girl Latasha who got killed by the Korean convenience store owner. That too hit a head, and all hell broke loose. And
Because they put a
everybody
blame
was
on somebody.
they blamed Koreans and white cops. Koreans were enemy number one at the time, and cops were enemy number one at the time. So that woman did not. She shouldn't have did what she did. She's probably long past now. She was a woman in her well into her 30s when the trial happened. But I guess she was protecting her store because she was tired of people terrorizing her store. But you assume she was stealing, but she went straight to you to pay. And you still assume she was trying to steal, and you hit her, a child that wasn't yours, and got upset that she defended herself, and you shot her because you thought she was stealing. She
Yeah.
left the juice on the counter, and you threw it at her, and still, like, I don't want to bring it back up because the family probably like, we're tired of it, da, 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 whatever, but like, it shouldn't have happened in the first place. But
But
whatever.
yeah.
We're off topic.
Yeah, I was like, dang, you get that deep. But like, yeah, the
Yeah,
thing,
I got deep.
like,
Don't get me going about that 90s stuff. I
like,
will tell
if you're
y'all.
going to get upset about an idol making a statement for because they know that they've done research or learned about that type of stuff, and they make a statement, do your research on what statement you're upset about. Because the Jim Jones situation, because of the whole 2020, was just not right because it caught like people would say, "Oh, she's wrong about ruining a song." It made a huge impact, as I said, because it showed that he respected America and did his research and
He
probably asked
respected
Namjoon to
all his
translate something.
fans, and he heard people complaining, and he took it off. A lot of idols don't. A lot of companies and idols don't do that. They literally ignore y'all and will do what the hell they want to do.
But
Um,
but since it got ruined and had to get taken out and had to make a statement, it just doesn't sound the same anymore. I'm being
uh,
honest. Since I said before, it just doesn't.
what was another one? Stop using. So there's a website called Kpop K Profiles. We could go on there and look up a group, and you would learn their names,
Ideal types.
birthdays, height, weight, Instagram things they like, favorite color, foods, all that stuff. The ideal type, they have a little insert at the bottom of their ideal types, something a statement they might have made on a broadcast at one time, and it's at the bottom. Stop using ideal type synopsises on K profile as a reason to be racist. Like your fave likes a girl with white skin and long dark hair. They could very well be talking about a Korean or Asian woman. That don't
Yes.
automatically mean white person. Stop being weird.
It's just kind of like annoying because like yes, like for me, for example, I use K-pop profiles to like look up just how old they are and some of their likes, but I'm not about to go on there and look at ideal types. Like yes, there's certain times where like I see a lot of people who are like, don't be delusional and your idol, I like your favorite idols won't like you. You're correct, but you also got to remember you're in a different country, which is all whole types of like, yeah, you need to think about that for a second. I'm not saying because I know people are getting a little confident right now. I'm like, yeah, they're just normal people. You could date them. You're in a different country. You're not in Korea. I'm just gonna be honest
Some of them
because you're
might. I
setting
mean,
yourself up.
some of them might do long distance. Depends on the person.
Depends on who.
The person. Um,
But like, I'm
if
not
they say
saying
if they all verbally say it out their mouths like what they like and what they can do, like there's idols that recently have said like us being idols is just a job. We are normal people. If we find a girl at a fan sign or a concert or out where we're out shopping, we see somebody and it's a normal person and we like, want to get to know them, we're going to talk to them.
and
Nothing's
that's
stopping us from
okay.
talking to them. And that's that. Like, but that doesn't mean, oh, because so and so said, oh, they're normal and they'll talk to anybody, they slide in their DMs. It don't mean going there and harassing them until they say yeah, because that ain't gonna happen.
Yes. That's what I'm like trying to say. Like, I'm not trying to seem like rude and be like, oh, stop being delusional, this, that, and the third. They're not gonna like you.
I
No,
mean, there are people out here that are delusional and delusionally think, oh, I am the standard. Your fave likes me. My skin and my eye color are what they like. They don't like you. You're too dark and your hair too kinky. Like there are people who talk like this. They do think like that. They are freaking delusional.
like I've told friends, like, yes, be delusional, but still have a touch with reality. Because some of y'all be real delusional and say, oh, I'm gonna be married to this, that, and the third, and we're gonna have this many kids, and I'm gonna live a great life. Like, honey, that doesn't happen all the time. It
Half
just
of these
doesn't.
mofos, I can't look in the eye. Why would I want to date any of them? No, thank you.
No, like just like yes, whenever you hear us like jokingly talk about a certain member and saying, "Oh, that's your husband" or "Oh, that's your girlfriend," it's a joke. It's just a joke between friends. We're not being serious.
It's a joke between K-pop stands. A lot of K-pop stands claim, like I have a couple moots on mutuals on Twitter. They be like, "Yeah, me and Yoongi are sitting here watching the movie. He's rubbing my feet." Like we joke like that on Twitter. It's not a real
Like
like,
it's
and people go back and forth like, "Aha, that's funny because he's right here, um, like playing music for me right now." Like the people go tit for tat. It's just entertainment to joke around with each other. Friendship. That's all it is. Obviously we don't know where Yugi is or what he's doing. Most likely making
no.
music because that's all he does. But
Like
like
that's just for like
we're
I'm
just
just saying shits
joking
and
though.
giggles.
Majority of
It's
the
not
stuff
supposed to be
we say are
serious.
joking. Like when we joke, here gonna be outsiders coming in messing up the joke, messing it up, and then we don't want to do it no
Like
more.
like the girls will always be like, "Oh, look at your sister-in-law." I'm like, "Ah, you're funny. That's not happening. You're joking. You have a good laugh. Haha." Like this is because we're joking
And
around.
I
We're
always
having
say like
fun.
Hannah is her sister-in-law. Like no,
Like I'll joke around with Indy because Indy's married and she has kids, and I'll be like, "Oh, look at Bobby. There's your baby daddy." Like it's a joke because both of them have kids with different people.
and I
So that,
respect his wife. This is why
so like that.
I don't even since he got married, the way I act towards him has changed completely.
And
So
it's
like
understandable.
he's still a beautiful man and I'm still obsessed with his curly hair. 'Cause idols very rarely have naturally curly hair. Bobby has
Mm-hmm.
a nice bunch of curls on his head that he
Curl
barely
texture.
shows. Like they when they grow out, they're pretty and bouncy and big, and I freaking love it. But then he cuts it short and they're gone. When you
But
cut
yeah,
your
so
hair
we're not
curly short, like with Koreans, when you cut their like when black people cut their hair short and it's curly, it makes it tighter. When Koreans
yeah.
cut their hair short and it don't the curls are just straight or wavy now. And I'm like, what the hell?
They don't make
Whatever.
sense to me, but that's just how my
It
hair
don't
is. So I'm
either.
just
Cause I'm
like,
like,
eh.
yo, this should be an afro right now. It's not, and I don't like it. But
Like
whatever.
trust me, I really had to look at Chan's hair, and I was just like, his hair is
Yeah, Chad
bone
is another
straight at
person.
the
We are
top,
very much pro
curly hair.
curl.
Yes,
retro
and we
curl people when it comes to idols. If your hair is actually wavy or curly, let that shit be.
yeah,
And I
we're not
mean
playing.
Bobby and Chan
And
and
JK, I
JK.
think.
His hair is not. His hair is wavy-ish curly.
Yes,
His hair,
that's the only
his
thing he
curls,
doesn't
his
bleach
curls
about
come
his
out
hair.
again when his curls are there when it's short and when it's long. They blow
Yeah,
dry that boy hair so damn much you could never know when it's short. But his
because they
hair
don't
is
do hair
curly.
protectant. They don't do hair protectant.
They don't use heat protectants at all, and that's why their hair be brittle and fried and look like tumbleweeds.
And that's why, and that like the one thing I just want to talk about is leaving bleaching people's hair so much in like K-pop wise because like
The thing
yes,
is,
I hear it all the time. You'll know what I'm talking about, Indy, because we had this argument with one of your friends, one of our mutuals, about how Chan's hair looks good curly, but like blonde. Yes, if he was like if he tanned a little bit, it would look good.
yeah,
But you
he's
also
very
got to remember his skin tone doesn't go with bright blonde hair, and he has curly hair,
yeah.
so you
Some
can't just
people
have
with blonde
two.
hair, it washes them out. Even shoot, Ken and Kai and his sister, they should not ever have blonde hair either because they are quite tasty.
Like,
Like I
yes, I
get
see a lot
everybody
of
liked the lover loser era of Kai and his blonde hair, but that
it
boy
just
is
washes them out. Like,
yeah, he
yes,
looks sick-ish.
like blonde hair looks good on people. Like Felix, like when he had darker skin tone, it looked good on him.
When he
And
tans,
even
because
when he's
Felix usually tans pretty dark. And
real
then also
easily,
like Mark Twan, he tans pretty dark if he's in the sun enough.
like,
But
yes, he looks
I don't
good
know
with
how
blonde
they
hair,
don't.
even pale.
I'm not saying Korea. I'm like, how the hell they don't tan when it's the same 4 seasons like they live in the Midwest in America in Korea? But they slather on sunscreen like it's got dang, like they're dousing themselves with water all the
Yeah.
time. Like they put up ears, face, neck, nose, and all, everywhere. Wearing clothes
And
down to their fingertips.
cover themselves up a lot. So like, yes, there are idols who look good with it. But like I just want to leave the whole Chan blonde hair. I'm just gonna say it
Yeah,
because
leave
it
Chan's
just
blonde hair in 2022.
it's
I'm
just like
sorry.
I'm just saying it truthfully because like coming from someone who is gonna be in cosmetology and learning skin tones and makeup and skincare and
There
hair
are
and
hair
what goes with
colors
that
that don't
color.
go with people. Like some people are not meant to have blonde hair. Some people are not allowed
But
meant
it's
to have
just
red
like
hair. Some people are not allowed meant to have orange hair because it pulls and it makes them look washed out or sick. Some hair colors don't work for people. Like
Like Felix, I love his natural hair color on him because it makes his skin pop. It makes his freckles pop. With him having blonde hair, which is iconic, he's had it for so many years, it kind of toned down his freckles for me. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah,
Because
usually when you brighten, like if you get what I've noticed, because even with my own hair, when you put lightener highlights or anything in your hair, it brightens the face. So like with I have freckles as well, so when I get lighter, my freckles do seem like they're not there.
I
So
have some on the side of my cheek, but it's not a
I
lot.
literally have
Like
freckles
still.
under my eyes. Like my glasses are in the way, but I have freckles. Felix's and Olivia's are nicer than mine, I feel
Yes.
like. But I
I
do
get
have
what you're
freckles.
saying.
I don't have as many. Mine do multiply in the summer. Like theirs.
Yeah,
His
I get
probably
what
take
you're
up
saying.
majority of his face when in the summertime.
Because I
But
have some on the right side of my eye, and it's not a lot, but it's still freckles, people.
yeah, him with black and red, not red,
Purple.
ginger hair
Hmm.
works for him.
It
Him
makes his
with blonde,
freckles
yeah, like they
pop.
makes his freckles in his face like it's a complimentary to his face. Same with Yugi, he is very pasty. Blonde hair for him, although August D hair, if he wears dark colors with the blonde hair, it works. But if he
Hmm.
is blonde hair and bright colors, it ain't gonna look right. Same with
It just
Tan.
washes
Y'all had
out.
him have blonde hair and have him wearing light blue and white and stuff, and it didn't look right. If he had blonde hair and had wearing black, grays, and browns, it might not have looked that bad. But
Like
like,
I like the colors that I like that I've like seen complement his skin is like the you'll get what I'm saying. It's like a dirty blonde,
mhm.
but it's not that light dirty blonde. It's like closer to a light brown.
Yeah.
The,
Yeah, I know what color. Yeah, I know you're talking
the double knot era. Like that color complements his skin because it fits his skin tone perfectly. Like the red in his hair, if it was a little bit deeper, then I would probably like it, but it was so bright. Same with like the orange. The orange looks good on him because he was tan. Because he just came out of Kingdom tan. So it looked good. It complemented his skin. But when he's pale and you can see what skin tone he has and you put these bright colors on him, like red, it just washes him out. Like the light blue was good, but it just really washed him out. And I'm being honest. Like I loved the blue, just didn't work for me. Like same with Hyunjin. Like Hyunjin can wear any type of hair color because his skin tone's neutral. So he can wear any type of hair color and look good. Short, long, blonde, dark, red, blue, purple because he's neutral skin tone. But like other idols who aren't neutral skin tone, it's not gonna look good on every idol. That's all I gotta say is leaving 2022. It's just the blonde hair in general on everybody. That's all I want to leave in 2022. Anything you gotta say? Andy. Hmm. I can't think of anything. Andy. I can't hear you.
Probably they don't.
Yeah,
They
because I
be
did
all
not
in.
hear
They
anything
be
you said.
all in. They be. Oh, you said what?
I didn't hear anything you said because it was so muted. I was like, did she leave? Did she mute herself?
Oh, I didn't mute myself. I probably
No.
could have. I probably could have. I'm gonna have to freaking edit it out. But no, I was like normalize bullying bullies because there are bully K-pop stands. Like literally, what was it? November ish. Bam Bam likes to troll his members
All the
I'm like,
time.
all the time. He's an annoying little brother that people was like, oh my god. And I think he is the youngest of his actual brothers. He's like the youngest boy. Then there's baby. So yeah, he plays his role pretty well. Uh, he's always like trolling JB and Jackson them all the time. He watches their dramas. He watches their videos. He is always trolling. Whatever. Um, he was watching Yumi Cells or like the love scene or one of the. It was a picture of Jin Young or something, and he was trolling him per usual. And a couple of Jin Young solo stands called him a bitch and told him to take it down, and he took it down and went black on all social medias and ended up
And went
going
on
on Weverse,
Weavers.
running off to Weverse because he felt a little safer there, which he shouldn't have. Anywhere that people can sign in, all they got to do is sign in and make a thing, and they can follow you there and probably bully you over there too, baby. But they did. But
It's just
it was
ridiculous.
just
Like,
unnecessary, and Jin Young found out, and he was like, "It ain't that deep." He
no, it's not.
he's known Bam Bam longer than y'all been known of Bam Bam. Why are y'all bullying the boy?
Seriously.
Like he's known Bam Bam since Bam Bam was literally 14, 13 years old. He's 26. What? Anyway,
I would
yeah,
love
so
to
that
say we
happened,
should.
and the people who were bullying Bam Bam and stuff end up getting their accounts taken down. So
Seriously, I want you to stop bullying Felix and Hyunjin because yes, they have couple rings and they're really close friends who do things together. But why are you bullying one over the other because you're a solo stan about certain things? Like for example, Felix put in hashtag love stay because Hyunjin started it. Yes, and that's his best friend, his brother, whatever you want to call it, because they're like family at this point. But why are you going on the Instagram bullying him and telling him he needs to remove love stay because that's not his thing and that's Hyunjin's? Why are y'all like this? And the same thing with Hyunjin. People get mad at him for doing things that Felix does or does with Felix, and it's like, that's disgusting. You're weird. They've known each other longer than both of y'all have known Felix or Hyunjin. Calm down. That's all I gotta say, because I would love
uh,
to leave solo stands out and leave that at 2022, but we know we can't do that because that's a person's opinion.
People need to accept there's a big majority.
Big majority of what? Hey, 2 minutes. Hear me, Indy? I'm just saying, because I can't hear you.
All their fans, I think. But yeah, so we're gonna stop it here because we've been talking for an hour
And we
and
get into debates heavily, because that's just how we are.
we're starting to get into debates and out of without out the real world of us like Americans, what happens here into the K-pop or the history of here into because it has some similarities and some synopses or whatever. But yeah, so we're gonna stop it here. We're gonna do one more episode after this one, and we're gonna wrap up this season and go on a hiatus for a month or so, and come back with some new stuff and new discussions. And you know, I like doing this. This ain't going nowhere. I don't
It's
know how
fun.
many seasons I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna be here for a while. We're already down season one. Maybe I'll do 4 more seasons. Maybe I'll do 10. You never know.
Mm-hmm.
Because the last year, K-pop has took a turn in the fandoms, and things have changed.
Heavily.
Things have
Heavily
changed, and
since 2017, let's say.
yeah, 17 there was a start of a shift, and the shift has really shifted last year. So the next year might be an eye opener for a lot of people. A lot of people claiming they're leaving K-pop because people keep doing the same things we just said they didn't leave in 2022 with its fandoms, companies, or the artists. Like, yeah. So people have left. There are people who left. I almost left because these motherfuckers. I was just gonna stay in my 5 core people and ignore everybody else.
Seriously,
Or
the only thing I want to
five
say
core
quickly,
groups and ignore everybody else.
the
It's not
only quick thing I want to say to leave in 2022 is people posting that they're leaving a fandom. That's the one thing that gets annoying. That's
right.
about it.
Like, why do you have to make a public service announcement that you're leaving? Just leave, delete all your K-pop photos and songs, and sell your albums and leave. Like, y'all literally announce it on social media, show yourselves burning albums or throwing them out, ripping up, burning stuff. Like y'all just do weird stuff all the time. It makes no sense. Just
Like,
leave.
yes, I know you spent your money on BTS or whatever, and you don't know what to do with it. Archive them because sooner or later, when you get older, you're going to be like, just look at the memories and reminisce of how good it was and forget all the negativity. And you can't do that because you ripped, colored on them, burned them. Like, that's just not fun.
K-pop would be fun if people didn't bring negativity.
Yes.
Some people have superiority complexes. And they think they can come into the fandoms. And this comes with anime stands too. They come into situations and they try to dictate what people can do and say. and it
Mhm.
makes it less fun. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Other than that, I would say no more expensive ass photo cards because people are charging about $230 for like signed photo cards or two hundred
bro, I
thirty
will charge
dollars.
$5 for not even five, two
Like
for a photo
literally,
card.
it was a photo, like a photo benefit from some K shop, and it's Hyunjin's red lights, and people are selling that for about 240 for a photo card. A
Not
photo
not
card.
stop price gouging with your photo cards and with your tickets. There are people I know who've had like go on concerts and they're selling their tickets because they can't go no more, and they actually sell them for decent prices. But then there are also the people who sell them for like $1,000. I'm like,
That's what
no.
I'm glad that Ticketmaster's catching up on is no resales because yes, is it a process that you have to resell your VIP tickets and all that type of stuff in Colin? Yes. But it's also because people like to take advantages of tickets and sell them for thousands of dollars
Uh-huh.
just for a section to be empty.
Literally, what was it that K camp stuff, Korean camp thing they tried to do, and half of it was empty because people were price gouging and trying to sell like they were charging way too much, and half of the stadium was empty. And
Literally,
half
like
and then half of the acts couldn't even come because their visas wasn't okay. So they were stuck in Korea. So they half the freaking like people didn't want to go anymore once they found out their faves wasn't coming anymore. So they just didn't show up. So that was just a fail. Like a giant fail.
yeah.
But or so thanks for listening. Please like uh comment I don't know, react like this YouTube channel. Please add us to your podcast, whether it be on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Google Podcasts. You also download the Anchor app and listen to us on Anchor too if you want to.
Yeah.
What else? Follow us on all social medias. I gotta re-log into all of them. I have a new phone.
I'm
I'm not
still
logged
on
into none of.
Twitter. I just
She's on Twitter. She should probably like post that
post.
we
Yes, I'll re
new podcast is recorded and will be up later this week probably.
yes.
Um,
I'll even start
yeah, you have
retweeting
to
things
re-log in
from
into the
K-pop fandom.
TikTok because I was mainly doing the TikTok stuff and the Instagram stuff, and she was doing Twitter, so I have to re-log into both of those. Um, and just follow us on those K-pop Skate podcast. Next season we got some fun, little things we're adding to our show. Maybe and even more guests on here because we are friends with a lot of people in the K-pop fandom communities all over the
Yep.
world. They probably would come in and have discussions about stuff if they wanted to.
Yep.
So yeah. Thanks for listening. Heads up for the next episode. Probably sometime next week. All right. Bye.
Bye.